doesn't make any sense geologically, but there's a canyon emerging in Cambridge, a remote urban canyon. It's surrounded by tall cliffs, glass, metal, and concrete. It's got a meadow running through it. And a little stream. It even has a small flock of cranes. No, not this kind. This kind. Here are 3 of them, and a 4th. Oh yeah, the name of this urban canyon is Cambridge Crossing, and it's way over on the far eastern tip of Cambridge, past Kendal, past Lechmere, past even East Cambridge, backed up against 93 and the rail yards. It's East Cambridge. Let's grab some background on this development from Max Rottersman's excellent video on Cambridge Crossing. I'll put a link to it in the show notes. By the way, Max created this slide deck partly as a technology development experiment, using the latest text-to-speech technology from IBM Watson. By the way, too, nearly everything Max does is a technology development experiment.
Cambridge Crossing is a part of Cambridge formerly called North Point. It sits between Route 28 and the MBTA maintenance rail yard. This is what it should look like when it is fully developed. This is what the area looked like years ago. The land recently sold for around $300 million. This building was recently financed for around $450 million. Subtracting commercial space, I estimate it works out to at least $800,000 per residential unit. Harvard and MIT are roughly to the south of Cambridge Crossing. Here's Cambridge Crossing shown, looking from the west. And here, from the northwest, showing one complete building, JK, currently occupied by Philips. The satellite view shows Cambridge Crossing's relationship to Boston, MIT and Harvard. MIT is less than 2 miles away. Harvard is just a tad over 2 miles away. The area is roughly a triangle. Indeed, I would have called it the Cambridge Triangle, or the Triangle, for short. Here's a layout of the proposed buildings. At the current rate of development, construction should be finished in a couple of years. The lot to the left will be residential and the back parcel commercial. Another view of Parcel I, which is residential and currently under construction.
Thanks, Max, an IBM Watson guy. Back on the ground, I noticed you can see 93 through some of the cracks in the cliffs. Cambridge Crossing is obviously a work in progress, and it's facing a lot of challenges. While we're here, let's watch this scooter glide by. What I was curious about is how the people who work and live here will connect with Kendal Square, which is the marquee tech hub North Star that's guiding expectations for this development. So I took a walk through CX Common, which is what they're calling it, and down East Street, which is the most direct route to Kendal Square. Here we are heading down East Street, and you can see off to the right another cliff is going up, and you can see the Green Line extension ahead. Now we're going under the Green Line extension. Here's what it looks like above. And now we're in Lechmere Square. Right now, this is a yawning expanse of intimidating intersections. Let's take another spin around Lechmere Square. There's Route 28, also known as Monsignor O'Brien Highway, and a whole bunch of little traffic islands. And then coming in on the left is Cambridge Street. Kendal Square's sphere of influence starts on the other side of this wall of buildings. It's significant when you think about it that these buildings kind of back up to Lechmere Square, as if there's nothing worth opening up to on this side. Cambridge Crossing has a lot of work to do to make this a pleasant walk to and from work. On the way back, I took a look under the Green Line tracks. Here are some staircases that may someday be clogged with commuters. Then I walked back to the quiet canyon. This is all happening in early March 2021, so things were a little bleaker than they probably will be soon. In fact, there are some signs of life already stirring. There's a restaurant, the Lexington, and a bistro that was actually kind of busy. Even had a cozy fireplace setting for two. Perfect for a post-COVID couple or two members of the same household in the meantime. Speaking of COVID, I bet the promotions team at Cambridge Crossing took the summer of 2020 off. But maybe things will ramp up in 2021. I found some pictures on the web that show that they already started banging the drum back in the summer of 2019. Check out the sign on the stage. Live music, food trucks, lawn games, craft drinks. Expect a lot more of that this summer, 2021. There's still a lot of development on the drawing board, particularly for Lechmere Square. There are a few buildings planned that will make it less of a barren, disorienting expanse of traffic confusion. But back to my original question. The walk to the outskirts of Kendall was surprisingly short, maybe 5 or 6 minutes. So if the Cambridge Crossing developers can make the Lechmere Square gauntlet a little friendlier, which could take years, this remote canyon could be the new eastern tip of the city. East Cambridge, or maybe East Cambridge East.